It's a tiny number, one that could be the difference, though, between saving or losing thousands of dollars for your kids' education.
The News 4i team checked out the fees tacked onto those government college savings plans, also known as 529 plans in D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. And Tisha Thompson does the homework to help you avoid wasting your money on the wrong plan.
Phil Bai is raising 3 kids in the district.
You want to do the climbing part?
And as he tries to catch up with his 3-year-old son,
You want to go play with your friends?
he's already worrying about catching up to the rising costs of college tuition.
The thought of saving for 3 kids to go to college who are coming at 2 years apart from each other, it starts to give you the night sweats.
That thought prompted Bai to check out DC's government-sponsored savings plan.
We started looking more towards the 529s, which are created for the purpose of helping parents save for college.
Every state and the district has a 529 plan. Most work like an IRA or a 401k, where you put money aside into a mutual fund tax-free. And hopefully over time, you can watch that money grow.
Definitely, if you've got kids, you should have a 529 plan.
Georgetown University's personal finance expert James Angel says even though they've been around about 20 years, not enough parents are taking advantage of 529 plans.
The tax breaks are too good to pass up.
But he warns moms and dads need to watch out for the annual fees that can come along with these plans, which can vary from state to state.
Investment managers don't work for free. Different money managers charge different fees for their services.
The News 4i team looked at the fees, or expense ratios, charged by all the different college savings funds available in D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. And we found more than half of D.C.'s options charge more than 1% a year, much more than the fees in Maryland and Virginia.
If you're paying more than 0.5 or 0.6%, I'd be asking serious questions of, am I getting services that are worth that much?
We found you can invest in any state's plan, no matter where you live. But if you cross state lines, you may have to pay taxes, which is why we created this 529 plan calculator to make it easier to check the plans in D.C., Maryland, and Virginia, and discovered some of D.C.'s fees are so high, you may actually save more money by investing in Maryland or Virginia, even after you pay taxes.
We also found the D.C. option with the highest fee is also the only one in our region that's lost money since it began. A spokesman for D.C.'s chief financial officer initially refused a request for an interview, saying they're prohibited by the Securities and Exchange Commission from speaking about the program. But when we sent them a long list of questions, including how much does the D.C. government take from each plan to administer it? And why do some of D.C.'s 529 plans have expense ratios so much higher than the surrounding jurisdictions? He wrote back, when the D.C. plan was initiated, it had a smaller asset base than our neighboring states, and a smaller pool can be more expensive. He also wrote, we understand participants' concerns and we strive to make the plan as efficient as possible, which is why the city is now looking for a new 529 fund manager offering a lower overall cost structure that will be in a better position to compare the district plan to other states. But Phil Bai says D.C.'s 529 fees are just too high for him, and he's now planning to invest in another state's plan.
If they're charging 5, 6, 7, 8 times more than someone else, then I better be getting 5, 6, 7, 8 times more than everyone else. And that didn't seem to be the case.
The calculator we created with the help of financial experts like Dr. Angel is unlike any other you can find online. You can enter where you live, what your marital status is. It will tell you how much you can save tax-free in your state, and then you can enter how many years you got left till your kid goes to college, how much you make, so we calculate the taxes for you, and then listed here are all the different funds that you can invest in and a customized number about how much you could potentially save before your kid goes to college. It's already up on our website, NBCWashington.com, in our app right now under investigations. Tisha Thompson, News 4i team.
D.C. residents are getting a raw deal when it comes to the government's college savings plan. That's according to multiple D.C. council members after the I-Team's Tisha Thompson showed us how the fees associated with the district's 529 plan can cost families thousands more compared to other state plans. Tonight, the I-Team shows you why the D.C. Council is now demanding action after their investigation.
Councilmember Allen has joined us.
Like parents everywhere, Charles Allen is pulling double duty,
When do we expect to have bids and make decisions?
asking tough questions as DC's Ward 6 council member,
As I have a 529 plan for my daughter.
while trying to stash away enough cash for his children's college educations through DC's 529 savings plan, where parents can put money into a government-sponsored mutual fund tax-free.
I've heard from financial advisors who say, who are now advising their clients, do not invest in the district's 529. Don't do it. Invest in Virginia, invest in Maryland, invest somewhere else. Now, personally, I want to invest in DC, but I also want to make sure that it's a good deal.
Allen is one of 3 freshman council members who say they're frustrated by what we exposed in our I-Team investigation when we created this special 529 calculator that found many DC residents can save thousands of dollars by investing in another state's plan, because DC's fees are so high.
The story that you've done, is really highlighting this issue.
Ward 1 Councilmember Brianne Nadeau and at-large member Alyssa Silverman say they've all received calls from angry parents.
The fees are outrageous, and it doesn't make sense.
And after reviewing city records, the I-Team found parents have been complaining about the 529 fund for years.
My name is Eric Wolf. I live in Petworth, and I have 8-month-old twins.
Including Eric Wolf, who testified before the council that DC not only charges him some of the highest annual fees in the nation, but unlike Maryland and Virginia, hits parents like him with a sales charge on everything he contributes.
Taking almost 5% off the top, $100 in becomes $95. That's terrible.
I've actually been pretty startled by the number of constituents I have that contact me with pretty big frustrations.
At that March meeting, Allen and Silverman grilled the district's treasurer, Jeffrey Barnett, who explained unlike Virginia, which has the largest 529 fund in the nation, DC's fees are so high because its population is so small, leaving him with just $400 million to work with.
It is very, very difficult to get the same level of response that you may get from an institution such as the state of Virginia or state of California or another state that can bid it out and say we have $5 billion. It's just not the same.
There are only 2 states with a smaller population than DC. Vermont, which we found charges just a quarter of the fees compared to some of DC's plans, and Wyoming, which abandoned its 529 program entirely to join up with its neighbor Colorado about 10 years ago.
Do we need to have a 529?
The treasurer responded that they hadn't considered that option, but were rebidding the 529 contract, hoping to get a better deal. But Allen and Silverman say that was months ago and now think the treasurer has taken too long to make a decision.
6 months later, we're in the exact same position, and I really haven't seen much change.
In response, the treasurer's office tells the I-Team the procurement process has taken longer than anticipated due to the negotiating process with the potential vendor. We anticipate that the contract will be executed by the vendor and the district government in the next few weeks. At the Wilson Building, Tisha Thompson, News 4 I-Team.
The I-Team created a calculator so you can compare the plans in D.C., Maryland, and Virginia to figure out which one makes the most sense for your family. You can check it out on our NBC Washington app by tapping Investigations. Changes are coming for D.C.'s 529 college savings program. In October, the I-Team created a special 529 calculator that found many D.C. residents could save thousands by investing in another state's plan. That's because D.C.'s fees are so high. The city just announced a new administrator. Ascensus College Savings will now manage the district plan, introducing a new investment lineup and reduced fees for families trying to put away money tax-free for college. The transition will take a few months and comes after sharp criticism from the D.C. Council. Councilman Charles Allen says our reports put a spotlight on the issue and hopes the change will bring a more competitive rate for parents in the district. To try out the special calculator and see what makes the most sense for your family, visit our NBC Washington app and click on Investigations.